I did a quick count, Jim. Is it 33 who have now decided to no longer be cacists?
Yeah, we're at 33, and in fact, by my calculations, they have until I think August 8th or something, and then they run out of M&A. Okay, it's like there'll be no one left. There's 79 in the caucus, and 33 are going. And listen, we're chuckling, but I've never seen this before. I have never seen a political party, a ruling political party, 2 terms, massive majorities. Okay, literally deconstruct in real time before our very eyes. And I find it fascinating that not more is being made about this. As far as I can tell, and I'm thank goodness this finally happened, because I know up until today I hadn't seen a single thing about anybody running for the CAC. Apparently there's going to be, I guess, a press conference out in the townships. They're going to announce who the candidate's going to be in Brome-Missisquoi. But that said, that's it. That's one down. That's another 32 that you have to have covered. And plus, we don't know who else is leaving, and I'm sure there will be other people who are going to announce that they're leaving between now and then. But what's crazy is that, I'm sorry, this is not an amazing coincidence. They realize the writing's on the wall. And even though the polls may suggest, it's going to be a three-way race, no, I don't think so. I think that basically the CAC is going to show up, and maybe the numbers will be there, and people may say whatever they want to say. But I think the doomsday scenarios that we originally saw with the CAC being wiped off the map still hold. I think that you're going to see a rather ignominious end to, and quite deservedly so, to a government which, with each passing day, with each passing Auditor General's report, we realized just how incompetent these people really were. And to a certain extent, and I know there's uncertainty and, it's going to be a referendum, just getting rid of these guys, Aaron, is a plus. Just getting rid of this idea, there's a third way of doing things. We don't have to be federalists. We don't have to be separatists. But apparently you don't have to be competent either, because that is the one hallmark of these 2 mandates, these 2 terms that this government had. And quite frankly, who knows in the end what the bill is going to be for this? Because I don't think we know. We still don't know. And it's not going to be until we have a new government that's looking at the books will turn around and say, you know what, it's worse than we thought.
So I guess my question, Jim, would be, based on this, another minister steps down today. How demoralizing is this for the leader, for Christine Frechette?
I would despair to be Christine Frechette right now, because honestly, how can you... first of all, I think she's been getting a hall pass from the media, because this should be the question every single day. Every single time someone leaves, it's like, Madame, what are you going to do here? It's like your team is literally dropping like flies here, and you're supposed to be leading us into another mandate. It doesn't look good. And as I say, the only people who seem to understand exactly what's going on are the CAC caucus itself. And they're getting the hell out of Dodge. So, it's very strange for me to see this campaign treated like, yes, don't worry, Christine Frechette's going to rebuild the CAC. No, I don't think so. I think the CAC is done like dinner. And with every passing day, with these names that we see coming up, these were not dilettantes. These are cabinet ministers,
right.
two-termers. They're gone. They're absolutely gone, Aaron. And the idea that somehow this party can be salvaged or recycled, I think is really whistling by a graveyard. But yeah, you're 100% right. I don't see how Christine Frechette can actually, how can I put it, impose herself as Premier of Quebec when everybody in her party seems to be running to the door.
I just want to touch on one other point, Jim. And again, we're just kind of hypothesizing here, but you kind of wonder, you have to wonder, given, ministers high profile stepping down, how much of this is about Christine Frechette directly, and how much of this do you think is about, chances are we're not going to form another government. I don't want to sit as in opposition or whatever, and I'm going to get out of politics. Is it a combination of both, do you think, or does it say more about her?
No, I don't think it's got, with all due respect to Madame Frechette, it's got nothing to do with it. The CAC was a one-man show. It was the Francois Legault show. He's gone, and it's over. There is no future. There is no spark. There is no energy. There is no, how can I put it? There is no plan forward.
Yeah.
This was all Francois Legault, beginning, middle, end. And when he became the most unpopular politician in Quebec, and indeed in Canada. It was clear. The writing was on the wall for a lot of people. I mean, we have cabinet ministers here. They were enjoying positions of power, had a lot of say in which way the province was going, and all of a sudden, boom, bang, everybody's leaving. And I tell you, it was the minute Legault took his leave that everyone realized the party's over. We'll play out the string, but and I got to tell you, Aaron, I am still intrigued to see if they wind up being able to field 127 candidates between now and October.
All right, let's focus on the other party here provincially that I asked this question earlier, and I'm going to come back to it. Again, is not doing as well as we would have hoped. And when I say we, I mean people I think here who are not going to vote CAQ and not going to vote PQ or any other party for that matter. You're writing the Quebec Liberals, if they have a reset switch, now's the time they flipped it. Why?
Because they better step back. I mean, this whole thing with the mise en demeure, sending a lawyer's letter to Paul St. Pierre Plamondon, and then to back off on it. Like, I thought it was a smart move. I said, you know what? Enough. You don't get to say anything that comes into your head. There have to be consequences. And I don't care if it's going to happen well after the election. The idea is you don't tolerate that. Well, now he's issued this wishy-washy kind of statement like, we'll keep our options open. You tell me how anybody is going to look at that and not conclude that someone went up to him and said, boss, you know what? You stuck your foot in it. Okay, they may be onto something here, so you want to just kill this right now. And the entire idea that Paul St. Pierre Plamondon could vilify and make a groundless accusation against the Liberal Party of Quebec, he's getting away with it. He's going to get away with it because now this standing back, it's like, well, I guess what were you trying to just overawe him, to bluff him and bully him into withdrawing it? Because he didn't, and you're standing down. So you know what? It looks like, and I hate to say it, even though the life proves that that's not true, all the people who are going to turn around nodding sagely going, where there's smoke, there's fire. Yeah. It's like that's the way it's going to go. So all I'm saying is maybe Monsieur Milliard should take the next few days and ask himself some really hard questions about which way his campaign is going, the manner in which his campaign is being waged, and the quality of advice he is receiving. Because honestly, I don't have to be or you don't have to be a political expert to know that in this world, okay, when you very publicly say you're going to sue somebody, you sue them. Okay, you might win or you might lose, but to turn around and then pull like almost like a Trump always chickens out kind of a thing. No, we'll wait and see, blah blah blah. Right off the bat, he's done even more damage to himself with that allegation than Paul St. Pierre Plamondon did. So really, somebody in that party better take charge. Somebody better figure out that, you know what? And if your strategy, folks, is that, don't worry, nobody wants to vote for separation, so they're going to vote for us. I got news for you, okay? A lot can happen, and a lot of people can turn around and say, you know what? I'll vote for the PQ. They hold the referendum, I'll just vote no, and we won't separate. But we won't have to, this is it. I'm really getting a vibe off the Liberals, Aaron, that this is the sum total of their strategy. No one's going to vote for separatists, and we're the only alternative, so yeah, we got it in the bag. No, you don't. And like I say, right now, you seem to be on a fast track for leader of the second opposition party. There's still time to pull it out of the fire. But honest to God, this has been a terrible week. As far as I'm concerned, this has been a terrible week for the Quebec Liberals. And they better do something about it and do it fast.
Jim, I couldn't agree with you more. I thought the exact same thing with respect to, here was the deadline. Paul St. Pierre Plamondon decided I'm not going to do anything. It would have been a perfect opportunity, right, for Charles Milliard to simply say, you know what, you don't get to accuse us of having ties to organized crime, whether you think it's a joke or not, or serious or not. Yes, we are going to sue you. You're right. All it would have done is either you win or you lose, but at least it shows you have some backbone and don't let people try to throw something at you that doesn't stick. I don't understand the decision.
And that was the impression I got is, okay, you know what, this guy's throwing down. This guy's saying enough is enough. And he even said, there's limits. Okay. Apparently there are no limits.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, I'll wait and see how things No. Okay, you blew it. Okay, and I hope you understand that you blew it, Mr. Milliard, and I hope your entourage understands that you blew it, and that you don't get the Liberal Party of Quebec does not enjoy such a sterling reputation that it can afford to say, oh well, we'll just try later. No. You're auditioning for for the biggest role you've ever had. Okay, and right now, Quebecers are looking at you like parti comme les autres. So spare me the whole kind of, no one's going to vote for separatists. They're going to vote for us. I got news for you. Right now, I'm looking at those polls. I'm looking at the Francophone vote, and you're going nowhere fast. So I would be very, very careful about taking anything whatsoever for granted, especially your political future.
I'm going to wrap this up, but I started by asking today, after the interview I had with Charles Milliard yesterday, what is it he needs to do? Because clearly he's not getting through. Never mind the regions. I think even some people here are looking at this and listening to him and thinking, is this all he's got? And it's interesting. So someone sent a text saying, he's no Jack Layton, right? And then someone sent a text a little bit later, and I thought this was so bang on. No, he's the equivalent of the provincial Liberal Stéphane Dion.
Yeah.
Which I found really interesting, right? In terms of charisma, whatever you want to call it, I think you need to have something. And for too many people, I think Charles Milliard is just plain vanilla. And it's not working.
You know what? I get the impression that there's no passion in this. There's no, and I'm very sorry. That's exactly what in an election campaign. If you go in and, like I say, you're presuming that of course we have it. No, you don't. You're going to get a very, very rude surprise. And the thing is, though, Stéphane Dion was like this nerd. Okay. I'm not even getting that vibe off of Monsieur Milliard. I'm getting a vibe off of a guy. And here's the other irony, right, Aaron? The two guys leading the two main parties, both of them were acclaimed to their office. They didn't beat any. Same thing with PSPP. So you know what? It's a very, very interesting situation. But as I say, what gets me, rightly or wrongly, and you can't accuse PSPP of that. I don't get the idea there's any spark. I don't get the idea that he feels he's got skin in this game.
We'll leave it at that. I'm going to bring that question back. Jim, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Pride is like love. You feel it in your heart. iHeartRadio, Canada's #1 streaming app for radio and podcasts, including iHeart Pride Canada, your favorite hits, and must-have party bangers, plus personalized and curated playlists like Back in the Day Pride.
Come together, celebrate love.
Take Pride with you, anytime, anywhere. Just ask your smart speaker to play iHeart Pride Canada. Stream us on your phone or listen now at iHeartRadio.ca.